When we were in school, we got up and went to school. We came home in the afternoon and helped in the bar or went to the beach, depending on the day. When it's high tide, we go to the beach with our friends. When the tide isn't good, we stay home and help our mother. That's how we spend our days here. In some things we're different, not in general, but we do have different ways of thinking. For example, I like calm places, and they prefer places where they can have fun, like discos. Others prefer to travel. I don't like dancing, going to discos, because it's all confused. I prefer to read a book, listen to music, stay home. I like Boubaque because it's relaxed, pretty. I always go to the beach with my sister. Sometimes I take a book, sometimes I take a walk. I like peace.
Women are the true political and social driving force on the Bijagos Islands. In addition to controlling the institutions of power, they are the owners of the land they work and act with a great deal of independence in relationships and sexual matters.
When there's a problem between men and women, the older women in the village meet and discuss the problem. They seek out the men, make them meet, and force them to respect the women. It's difficult to see a Bijago woman with a man for many years. They aren't with them for more than 2 or 3 years. Then they look for another. They're the center of the family. The men depend on the women because they don't work. They drink a lot and can't work. When they do work, it's 1 day a week to buy liquor, not to support the household. The women like living like this, free. In their culture, they have the freedom to live with 2, 3, or as many men as they want. Their families don't say anything, or get pregnant at 15. It's not a hindrance. For them, it's good. Here on the island, there are a lot of women who aren't Bijago, and they see the Bijago women get rid of their husbands, and they do the same to live a free life.
During the war, Dora went to Portugal with her daughters, and when she came back, she found her husband living with a Guinean girl. The locals accused the husband's girlfriend of having cast a spell on the Portuguese man and put themselves firmly on Dora's side. One of the most important institutions on the islands is that of the queens. There is a king who concerns himself with men's matters and a woman who works with the women. But these queens are not the wives of the king. They hold an independent post.
I remember clearly the day Dora came to tell us about her problem. We didn't hesitate. We threw that man out of here. We already have enough with our own men to put up with. for a white man to come and bother us. The men have nothing to complain about. They spend the day drinking and talking amongst themselves. If it weren't for us, the vermin would eat us. Dora is a strong woman, one like any of us. Her daughters grew up here, and they'll be like our daughters and granddaughters. There's no difference.
One of the aspects which it has been hardest for Dora to assimilate is the constant supernatural explanations which the Bijagos give for anything that happens.
Quando cheguei à Guiné, eu tinha fé, tinha certo receio.
When I came to Guinea, I had faith and a certain distrust of the unknown. Today, I see the rituals they perform, and although I know they don't exist, they have such faith and hope with such strength that they achieve it. But the things they want are easy to get. Normally, they don't ask for impossible things. They ask for things which are easy to achieve.
But this doesn't only happen in spiritual matters. What has been most difficult for Dora to understand is their different view of life and death.
When I arrived, I lived next to a maternity hospital. A maternity hospital in a Catholic mission. And what really made an impression on me were the women who left the hospital with a dead baby and didn't cry. I cried, and they didn't cry. Now I understand that, because they can't do anything. They are very limited. Another time, I met a woman who asked for my little girl's clothes for her daughters. She had a 5-year-old girl. I came back a week later and asked her about her daughter. She died, she told me, but she said it as if it were nothing out of the ordinary. How did she die? I asked. She died. Didn't you take her to the hospital? No, I couldn't. Why? Because I didn't have the money to kill a goat. She needed the permission of their God to be able to use the whites' hospital. They can't use the white people's magic without asking for permission. And she preferred to let the child die rather than have somebody else in the family die. Because if she took her son to the hospital, and her son was cured because he went to the hospital, another person in her family would die in his place. After living in Portugal and coming here to Guinea and seeing the misery, people's difficulties, the warmth of the people, I know that here there is a greater human warmth than in Europe. My dream is always changing, because today I want one thing, tomorrow another, because life is always changing.